Hey, Ty Brady here with Brady Insurance Marketing in the Ty Brady Way, one of the nation's largest field marketing organizations that helps independent agents achieve a 6- and 7-figure income with the systems and strategies that I'm going to talk about with you today. Welcome back to another episode of the Ty Brady Way, and today I'm excited to be here with Jeremy Lindquist. And, we've known each other for a while, and you had a career, I believe, as a manager with an insurance company, and then you decided to go out on your own. But what a lot of the audience that we talk to are entrepreneurs or people that are independent business owners, and they like to hear stories of, kind of where people came from and where they're going. So tell us a little bit about you and what you're doing now and why you're in the industry.
I've been doing this, in the industry about 30 years. Actually started right before I got married in I hate to date myself, 92.
So no one ever says they want to grow up and be in the insurance industry. How did you get into insurance? I
fell into it. I had a cousin that was a regional director for Colonial Life and Accident out of South Carolina.
Okay.
And we were at a family party one day. Yeah. And he goes, "Hey, I think I got something for you, or something you had to look at." It was right before I got married, and I wasn't doing anything in particular. And I'm like, "Yeah, sure." And so went and got licensed and kind of fell into it. Spent 18 years with Colonial Life and Accident as an account executive, opening groups on the ancillary benefit side, working with health insurance brokers, CFOs, CEOs of companies, things like that. And did that for 18 years, and then kind of opened my eyes to a friend of mine actually opened my eyes to Medicare. And I was going to leave a big a regional insurance company here in Utah.
Wow.
And said, "Hey, I'm going to start a Medicare agency. You got to come look at Medicare again." So I went to look at Medicare, and anyway, long story short, spent 4 years there before meeting you.
Yeah.
And I got introduced to Kellogg Insurance Marketing.
Yeah.
Which I always say I wish I did that about 10 years prior.
I think everybody does once they've been doing it for 10 years, right? They're always like, shoulda, woulda, coulda.
Yeah. And I have been in the Medicare industry ever since. So 13 years in the Medicare industry now, and 9 with you.
Didn't you spend a short stint? You owned a couple of businesses, or you're a partner in a business, retail business or something. If I remember you telling me that story.
Yeah. So many years ago in the late 80s, I had a t-shirt shop in a big mall here.
So here's a loaded question. How does that compare to what you do now?
But
retail.
Between being broke and having money.
Yeah. Wow, all right.
No. Hours 7 days a week, 12, 14 hours a day with little to no money when you own your own retail biz. And versus now where, I've spent some years building up a residual income in the Medicare business, which is phenomenal because the persistency and sticks, it's unbelievable. In worksite marketing, year-over-year persistency was less than 50% of the business would stay on after the first year.
Oh, wow.
And so you're always churning that business. In Medicare, I'm probably 98% persistency year over year. The business just sticks, it stays. People leave when they unfortunately die or move away. But and then the hours. You talk about the hours. The retail business, of course, it's nights and days and weekends. And in this business, now it's some days are a couple hours, some days are 8 hours, depends on the time of the year.
What would you say the hardest part of your industry is?
This industry?
Yeah.
It's probably staying motivated.
Wow.
For me anyway, because it's you get it. The businesses that provide such a great opportunity to really build something that you build up to the income that you're comfortable with.
Yeah.
And then it's like, hey, all my bills are paid and I've got money and I'm doing vacations and I've got all the time that I want to go do the things I want. And it's like, but I still need to work.
Yeah.
And so staying motivated sometimes can be like, when the renewal check's coming in every single month and you're going, yeah, I don't have to do anything. and just keeping it going.
I remember, we're always recruiting and training, and that Ron used to say the day you stop recruiting is the day your agency starts going backwards if you decide to go down an agency road and that model. And motivation is tough at times. I remember Ron used to always say is you'll never push somebody out of their comfort zone. He's like, you never will. He's like, they have to want it. And, it's for whatever reason. Or I've had some people say, well, go buy a new car. Go buy a new house. Go get in debt. Go give yourself a reason to go to work, right? Yeah. Or that bank account starts dwindling.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's true. I back when I first started in the insurance business, this cousin had got me in. He said, go buy a car. Go do this. Go do this. All you have to, it's only one more cancer policy. It's only one more disability policy that you have to sell to meet that goal. And so I kind of look at it that way. This year, of course, going in, being in a little bit of a management role with your organization. And then I have some different goals this year. And so now it's time to kind of, bring it up again and start growing more and kicking it,
That'll help your motivation.
Kicking it in,
right? When you start serving the people.
It's just, there's some opportunities there where I'm like, I can see the value in recruiting and helping other people grow their business. And so now I'm going to, put a little more emphasis definitely in that arena. Yeah. But to Ron Kellogg's point, your point with Ron Kellogg is, I had to bring myself to that. I mean, I can look all the way around me and see what you're doing and what some of the other managers doing and some of the other successes with people that are having more success in half the time that I did. Yeah. And I'm going, but I had to have my own reason to really want to do it for myself. So,
when you say motivation, I'd always tell people it's just putting one foot in front of the other until you start running, and then you start, sprinting, and then you're able to execute. And sometimes that first step is the hardest when it comes to that motivation. You're like, okay, you're like, I got to step. I got to do this. What? I mean, this is completely new to me. Or you may be scared, or you got this fear, or all the saying I'm not worthy, or I can't do that. I mean, all those things that come in your mind, it's like, no, just one foot in front of the other. That momentum starts going, and then you're running on that track. Any funny stories you'd like to share in your experiences the last 30 years in insurance?
Oh, man. There's a lot. I don't know if I could share them on the podcast.
You just share one that's,
Oh, gosh.
Keep it clean,
Yeah, I can keep it clean. Interesting. And just all walks of life and different people. I mean, from worksite marketing, running into people that when you're talking about life insurance and I had this guy that we were sitting down at a dealership, and this was some years ago. It's not in the Medicare business, but we were talking life insurance, and it's maybe not really too funny, but it's interesting people's perspective on insurance. Yeah. And so we were talking. He had 5 kids, and we were saying, "Man, well, what are you doing for life insurance?" And he says, he goes, "I don't have life insurance." And I said, "Well, why?" Yeah. And I said, "You have 5 children. What happens if something happens to you?" And he was just like, "I don't care. That's their problem." Wow. And I was blowing me away. And I'm like, he goes, "I have the best insurance money can buy." And I said, "What's that?" He says, "I have God's insurance." Oh. And I said, "No, I think you're I think you're a little confused and misdirected. I think God's assurance, not insurance."
Yeah, good point.
And I said, there's God's assurance that you may have life after death, but insurance is making sure that your family has a life after your death. Yes. And so that was the comment I made to him, and that, of course, didn't go very well. But so that was a funny time. It's amazing to me when you think as an agent, you have a product or a service that that everybody needs or wants, but people's own reason for not buying something or enrolling in something, it's their own reason. Same with Medicare, though. That's why we have so many different plans and options and ways to help that senior community.
One of the things that blows my mind is people will insure that phone that's in their pocket. I don't insure my phone, but I think it was $40 or $50 they wanted a month to insure your phone. Oh, and that's the same cost as life insurance for most people. Yeah. That, life insurance is for the living, not the dead. Yeah. And it's,
to be there. I mean, I just did another policy on my wife for almost $2 million. Because to try and replace her, I mean, she's the CFO, she's the taxi driver, she's the, doctor. I mean, you name it. She does all those things. She'd be hard to replace.
Oh.
And I think people underevaluate what it takes to run a household. Mm-hmm. The last thing here, Jeremy, maybe 2 questions, but, sure. But where do you see taking this in the next 5 years?
Yeah, in this market, I mean, when we have a market, we look at the Medicare space, we got 10,000 a day turning 65 for the next, 15 years, 17 years?
Actually, 12,000 now. Yeah.
12,000.
Yeah.
The market's huge. For me personally, I've continued to develop my referral partnerships with different people and the professionals in the industry, not in my industry, but in outside industries that refer to me. So continue to grow those and nurture those and grow my personal book. But also in the next 5 years, growing my agent base, the ones people that I recruit, that I bring in, that I train, that I help them grow their business. And so the next 5 years, I see that growing substantially. Yeah. Putting in a lot different efforts and doing some different things. But I see just a continued upward trajectory in this business. I think, a lot of people say that it's really crowded, right? The Medicare space is crowded. There's a lot of agents getting into it. It doesn't seem to matter. No. I mean, there is so much out there. I mean, even in Utah, where it's a similar or a kind of a smaller market. Yes. Per se. But it just amazes me how many opportunities still just continue to come up, from referrals and just, everywhere you turn, somebody turning 65. It blows my mind. We talk a lot about on the show, 340 clients and you're making $102,000 a year guaranteed. And it's like, how fast can you get there? And to me, it's accelerating because agents are hard to find. I mean, that's the biggest problem. And they're hard to find, but once you start getting those niches or those referral partners that you have, they feed you. Yeah. I mean, we talk on the show about dental offices and doctor's offices and CPAs and all those things. But any last thoughts you'd like to share with our audience? Yeah, if you're, I think if you're in the industry already, it can be a much easier transition, I feel, because you kind of have that concept and familiarity with the insurance industry. I would say, if you're looking to break into Medicare, I mean, don't wait. Get in. Yeah, there's a lot of compliance versus other parts of the industry. There's other things that you have to contend with that, that can be a bit frustrating at times. But you get used to having to do what you have to do. It's like with anything. And don't wait, because I think the sooner you get in, the more opportunities you're going to have to capture that part of the business. If you're a property casualty agent, if you're a group broker, if you're a financial advisor, CPA, whatever, there's room to add Medicare to your practice. Yes. And I almost think if you're not, you're just missing a huge opportunity with helping that senior market. I know that, like with your group people and the financial people, I think it helps them solidify. If they're not willing to get contracted and go down that road, that it solidifies at least their relationship as a financial planner, saying, hey, I have a guy, I have a guy that does this for a living. He'll help you. I know other agents that have partnered with financial planners. It's helped them close the deal on the back end. And they're like, and a lot of, what's interesting, financial planners are like, well, it's just not worth it. And I'm like, wow, you're missing the boat. And because those little things add up. And you may go and write a big deal and get a big commission check. But at the end of the day, it's that renewal basis. I mean, they got to go find their next deal. Yeah, Medicare is definitely the long game. So if you're into it for big money up front, it's really not going to satisfy that. It is the long game, but the long game is stable. Yes. And I would say, like I said, even if you're not in the industry, if you're looking to switch careers and maybe you have a sales background, maybe you don't. I mean, there's been successful people that have had no stay-at-home moms. They make $1,200 in a year. Yeah, they come in and learn this business and they blow it out of the water. And I think, you just got to see it, right? And I would say to anybody out there, if you're not in the industry, if you're in the industry, look at the Medicare space. talk to Ty,
Talk to Jeremy
or
too.
talk to what?
Yeah.
Hey, I don't know. I'll give you the lowdown.
No, you've had a lot of momentum. You've had a lot of great people coming on board this year, and I'm excited to see where it goes the next 5 years.
Yeah, me too. As I said, I'm here for life. So
yeah. Well,
I'm a lifer.
You can do what you want, when you want, and have all that freedom.
Yeah, absolutely.
Any last thoughts, and we'll wrap this up, my friend?
No, I just wanted to say, thanks for the opportunity. 9 years ago, we met at United Healthcare's meeting and showed me the Kellogg way because it really changed my views of the market, right?
Yeah.
And the industry and the opportunity is when I come over and met you and came over and talked to Ron Kellogg, and I have been very happy ever since, and plan to never go anywhere else because it's the support and everything else that they've always been, there for me, and then of course the other agents that are involved. So now just a big thank you to you and the organization and everything else for, constantly providing the opportunities and the trainings and all the things that you do. So.
There are plenty of places that will give you a contract. The same contract that I offer a lot of folks. But if you want the actual mentorship, you want the systems and strategies, you want, someone to cry on when you're having a freaking day, it happens.
Oh, yeah.
I remember talking to some agents, it's like, it's raining. I don't want to go knock on this last, call. And they did it and ended up it was an agency. They got 15 agents out of the deal. And it was right before that. He was like, I'm getting my butt kicked. I'm in the, all those things.
Yeah.
As always, Jeremy, thank you for being here and being on the show. And as always, share, like, and subscribe, and we'll catch you on the next one. Thank you.
Thank you for listening to another episode of the Ty Brady Way. As always, share, like, and subscribe. Go to Instagram at ty.r.brady. And as always, love hearing from you. And let me know what you want to learn on the show or what you'd like me to bring up on the show. Thanks.
You can find the Ty Brady Way on Instagram as well as Facebook. To stay connected with giveaways and Ty himself, go ahead and follow at ty.r.brady on Instagram as well as Facebook. This podcast was recorded, edited, and produced by Whitney Face Media Marketing. And the theme music is an excerpt from Hot Chicken of the Woods by Isaac Joel.